Let's see. Let's see who wins, apples or oranges. All right, we've got Cheryl from Fairfax. We've got Mary from Oakton, Virginia. Very good. Alexandria, Virginia. We've got Unciano. I think the name is the Unciano family. Very good. Sounds very Italian. Sounds very, very Italian. All right, let's get started. Let's get the party started. Hello and welcome to I don't know who I am. Hello and welcome to Tina's Joyful Kitchen. I am Tina McDermott and I shall be your lazy inspirational chef. I'm a speaker and a weight loss coach, but I'll be your lazy chef for the day. And we are going to have such a great time together. I'm so excited. Thank you, Fairfax Library, for having us here today. And thank you, all of you, for signing up and registering for this fun cooking class. And if you are ready to have loads of fun with me, type fun in the chat. If you're ready to just have a ton of fun with me, type fun in that chat box. If you're ready, it's great. I love doing things over Zoom. I get to be in my own house and I don't get to see your gorgeous faces. So the only way that I know that you're there and we're participating together and you're having a good time is when you interact in that chat box. So I so appreciate it. I so appreciate it. Yes, you're all ready to have a lot of fun. I'm going to introduce myself just a little bit more. As you know, I've called myself the Lazy Inspirational Chef. I'm a speaker. I'm a weight loss coach. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. And I can just seriously say this is my love. This is my passion. And there's no place that I'd rather be than right here, right now, teaching you how you can live a life that is full of health, full of vibrancy, and full of joy in the kitchen again, right? Help you find joy in the kitchen, even if you don't know or like to cook. And I want you to be free of those DIEs, the capital D, capital I, capital E with the small t's, and free from dis-ease, because we are here on this planet for joy. If you agree with me that we are here for joy, type joy in that chat. Type joy in that chat. That is my favorite word. I think one of my next dogs, I'm going to call them Joy. I will. Good. You agree with me. Lots of you agree with me. We are here for joy and to share the joy and the love and everything else. Very good. Well, let me tell you what we're going to make today, and then we're going to get started cooking. We are going to make this lovely vegetable summer soup. I am going to use my Instant Pot. You're welcome to do stove pot. You're welcome to do crock pot, but this is not as good on crock pot. It's better at Instant Pot or the stove top. Then I'm going to make this grilled peach salsa, a peach and avocado salsa. These are all summertime hydration type wonderful recipes. And then we're going to make a granita. When was the last time you ever made granita or thought about making a carrot ginger granita? I'm going to throw some orange in there too. And then I've got a Honolulu Heaven smoothie. We're going to talk all about smoothies. And I love salads. If you love salads, put salads in the chat. I love salads, but the problem with salads are the dressings. So why not find the simplest, best dressing on the planet Earth, and that is Tina's homemade Italian dressing. I'm going to teach you how to make that today too. So you guys ready? Type ready in the chat if you are ready to rock and roll. I love you guys. You guys are ready. You are chatting away. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I have my pan heating up over here, so it's a little hot. I'm like, whoa, just a little too hot right now. All right, so we're going to put that aside. I'm going to start with salt. We're going to start with the soup in the Instant Pot. And I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to turn it to saute. Okay, we're going to do a normal saute. I'm going to throw some olive oil in there. And who wants to learn how to chop an onion without crying? If you want to learn some secrets to chop an onion without crying, type cry in the chat. If you want to learn how to chop an onion without crying, type cry in the chat. If not, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, I have one person. I will do it for one person. I don't know about the rest of you. Okay, here we go. I have context, so I don't normally cry when I cut up onions. However, I've done some research, And I'm not promising you you're not going to cry, but you're going to get your onion. By the way, whatever onion you want is fine. I love sweet onions. I typically always use sweet onions. And I found these Georgia sweets are wonderful. So this, you see that hair on that you think hair on the top, that is the bulb that would go into the ground, that would grow into the ground, right? Well, there's a piece in there that we are going to get rid of, and that will, they say, is what makes you cry. I don't know. So if any of you try it, let me know. So let's do a close up here. You're going to take your paring knife and you're going to go in at a diagonal. Go in at a diagonal and be careful. Watch your fingers. Don't hold it like so. Hold it like so. Go in at a diagonal and cut that baby out. There we go. There's the bulb. I want you to throw that away. They say that is what makes you cry. And now I'm just going to peel off the outer layers of the onion because, they're dry and they might have mold. So just be careful. Don't use them for soups and stuff. I don't use the outer skins of onions for soups and stocks, I meant to say. Okay. Now, who wants to know how to cut an onion without chopping their little pretty fingers? If you want to know how to cut an onion, put cut in the chat. Put cut in the chat if you want to learn about how to cut an onion without chopping your fingers, okay? Round things, you make them flat. That's number one. Round things, we're going to make them flat. So here we go. We have our flat onion. I've got the olive oil in there. It's warming up. I don't know if I put enough olive oil. Thank you for the close up here. Round things you're going to make flat. And now I'm going to score the onion. Score it. Don't chop it all the way through because onions slide all over the place. And we're going to use our whole knife and we're going to chop the onion. There we go. There we go. And nothing slided. And now we have onions for our saute. The recipe calls for half an onion, but I can never cook for just 2 people. I have to cook for an army. I call all my neighbors and have them come over and pick up food. I am not joking. And my niece is coming over today. So I'm going to be giving her a ton of food. Now, who would like to know a little bit about knife skills? I know we've got a lot to do, but I can touch for a minute on knife skills. Only if you want to learn a little bit about knife skills, and I'll teach you that with the other half an onion. If you want to learn about knife skills, put skills in the chat. If you want to learn about knife skills, oh, you got ahead of me. Good. You guys know you want some knife skills. Good. I find this super duper important that you don't hold your knife wrong and you don't slice your fingers. Okay. We don't want that. We love our fingers. So many people hold their knives like so, and the knife can very easily slip out of their fingers. We don't want that. So you do want 3 fingers on the handle. Your index finger, instead of on the top, should go right here. The thumb should go right on the other side. So you have this grip on your knife versus here, okay? It's a grip. It's a much better grip on the knife. You got that? Okay. Wooden cutting boards are better. And since I have an onion and this is a white cutting board, I'm going to put my onion on the brown so you'll be able to see it a little bit better, okay? So knife skills, sharpen your knives at least once a year. Uh-oh, my saute is a little too much, so I'm going to go lower on it. And I'm going to get my handy dandy Italian wooden spoon. It's not really Italian, but I have a ton of wooden spoons. Okay. What else about knife skills? A lot of people chop straight down, and I want you to use your entire blade because the blade goes from here all the way to here. You might as well use it, and don't chop straight down. Use the entire blade. Hold your fingers like so that you don't touch or hurt your fingers. Grip your onion and now score it. You notice I'm not holding it like so. Grip it with the fingers and score it. And you see I'm using my tip and I'm using the whole blade. I'm not just chopping straight down. Now I'm going to score this way again. Now, they say to put the blade up against the back of your fingers. I don't like that. I move my fingers even further. Okay. And now I'm going to use some muscles. You see, I'm using my whole arm and I'm using the entire blade. Using the entire blade. Wooden cutting boards are much more gentle on your knife. You see how I'm backing up my fingers? Now this piece might slide, so it's okay. Take it off and then chop it up, okay? Now, a lot of people, they pick up their onions or their vegetables with the knife. Don't do that. Just scraping the knife will dull the knife. So you're going to get either just your hands or a scraper like so, and throw that right in there. Okay, good. All right, knife skills 101 concluded. If you guys got something from that, say got it. Or tell me what it is that you got from that you're going to use for the rest of your life. That was just a minimal knife skills quickie for you all. Okay. All right. Now, I call myself the lazy inspirational chef because I take lots of shortcuts. I don't have time to cut every single vegetable the same size. They tell you in culinary school, consistency of cut. Everything should cook the same way, but I don't have time for that. I'm lazy and I'm hungry. Who's hungry? Put hungry in the chat. Put hungry in the chat. Finger placement. Thank you very much that you learned something. Now, who knows what this is? Does anybody know what this is? Does anybody know what this is? You get points if you put it in the chat. It's a mandolin. This is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. And the mandolin comes with one of these. You should use them. Okay. I have my organic carrots and I've washed them. I don't take the skin off because there's a lot of nutrients in the skin, but they're washed. So I love this. Look how fast it is to cut up my carrots. Now, when it gets smaller, you use the other piece. You know, some pieces might end up on the floor. That's okay. You can clean them up later. Or maybe the cat or dog will come around and clean them up for me. So look how fast that is. I just love my mandolin. It is, you know, I was never a gadget girl, but over time, let's just put it this way. I'm 53 and my hands sometimes get a little tired from chopping. And this mandolin has been my savior. It really has been. And I just don't want to be in my kitchen without a mandolin. And there was something on that I don't want on there. You know what? All of my pieces of my carrots, they are not going to be the same. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Are you okay that my carrots aren't all the same size? Okay, maybe somebody eating my soup might not like the fact that not all the carrots fit on the spoon, but I don't care. I don't care because it saved my hands from having to chop through some hard carrots. Okay, carrots go in the saute with the onions. And we're going to put the mandolin. No, we'll keep the mandolin out. We'll keep it out because I'll use it for something else. I'll probably use it for something else. Next, I'm going to put in some peppers. We're just sauteing everything. Maybe put this. There you go. Oh, I have something to tell you. I have to find it first. What did I do with it? Secret to Italian cooking. My mom did this forever. You get a peperoncino. This is a red hot chili pepper. And you get just a piece of it and throw it in. It just adds it pops the flavor. It's not to make it spicy hot. It just pops the flavor. And that huge piece, you can pull it out later. Unless you're the unlucky one that gets that in your spoon and eats it. Evil, no. Look how beautiful these peppers are. Now, when you find a recipe, I want you to be inspired to put in your soup whatever it is that you are inspired to purchase. I found these peppers at the market and I'm like, those are gorgeous peppers. I want to use those peppers in my soup. They're called Wild Wonders. Aren't they beautiful? They're absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to get rid of the seeds here and chop up my peppers. Again, I am not going to be precise with my cuts. I'm just going to get it done and get it in the pot. And if a couple of seeds go in there, it's okay. It's not a problem to have a couple of seeds from your pepper in your soup. Now, as I'm doing this, as I'm chopping up my peppers, I want you to tell me, what are your favorite vegetables that you like in soup? Go ahead and tell me, put it in the chat. What are your favorite vegetables that you like to have in your soup? What are they? Go ahead. Let me hear it. Let me hear. What are your favorite vegetables? Peppers, onions, garlic. Good. Cabbage. Yep, we're going to put cabbage in this one. We're going to put cabbage in this one. Lots and lots of seeds here. Peppers. What else? What are the favorite vegetables that, especially summer vegetables? And, you know, summertime, it's hot. We all know this, right? The more hydration that you get, the better off you are. And yes, you should be drinking water all day long, right? Water, water, water all day long. But when you make a soup, you get even more hydration from the liquid from the soup. Isn't that lovely? So let's make some soup. Next, I'm going to put in some tomato paste. I like to put the tomato paste in the saute. Now, if you like celery in there, go ahead and put some celery. I love celery. I have a lot of beautiful organic celery in my fridge. I just decided not to put it in this particular soup. So I didn't. And that's okay, because you can put whatever you like. I was thinking also I could have put potatoes in here. Potatoes would have been nice to chop those up. But this is just a lovely summer soup. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get some tomato paste. It says to put in 1 to 2 tablespoons, but what am I going to do with the rest of the tomato paste? You can't leave it in the can. I'll put it in the fridge in a little container, and then I'll forget about it. I'll tell you, the soup will be much richer if you just put the whole can in there. Go ahead. It won't hurt you. Put the whole can in there. There you go. Okay. Oops, got it on my handle. Next, I have these Roma tomatoes that need to be eaten. And if you have some tomatoes that need to be eaten, chop them up, throw them in your soup. Throw them in your soup. You can do a can of tomatoes too if you want, or just skip the tomatoes altogether. But since this is a fresh summer soup, I'm just going to throw in some nice, beautiful Roma tomatoes. They're nice and firm. And here we go. Now, if you're going to do dried herbs in your soup, now is the time to put the dried herbs in, because the herbs need to go in with the oil. If it's a fresh herb, you put them in later. We're actually going to serve this soup. This tomato was a little mushy, and I want to make sure that it's not bad, and it's not. It's just super ripe. Excuse me, I had to do that. And okay, now when it comes to the herbs, you can put in whatever herbs you have on hand, whatever you find fresh, or whatever you have that is dried. Whatever dried herbs you have, you can put those in there. Today, I went out to my garden and I found some, I grow marjoram. So this is marjoram, and look how pretty the flowers are. The bees were all around the flowers this morning. So I can put some fresh marjoram in there, and I will put the marjoram in there later. I won't put it in right now. Let me get a piece of that. And then this is how you do it. You strip it like so. Hold on, here we go. You strip it, and now you have all of your marjoram leaves. Mother Nature is just wonderful. I just love what Mother Nature provides us. I will put that in there in a little bit. I'm not going to put it right there in the saute though, okay? And if you see me throwing things over there, does anybody have a clue what I'm throwing things into? Does anybody have a clue what I'm throwing things into? Anybody? Anybody? Compost. I put things back in a compost pile, and I give it all back to Mother Nature. And we put things in the compost. In Italy, you absolutely have to compost, whether you're going to use your compost or not. You cannot throw it into the regular trash, and that's law. And that is law. Okay, we're going to stir that up, get that. Let me move this forward a little bit more. Get that tomato paste in there. I have a couple pieces of carrots that are a little big, but oh well. Life is messy. It's all good. I got tomato paste on my hands. Life is messy. It's okay. It's okay. Next, what else are we going to put in here? We're going to put some nice garlic. Now, who here uses garlic that is in a jar or garlic powder? as opposed to, or who uses fresh? Put jar, powder, or fresh in the chat. Put jar, powder, or fresh in the chat. Jar, powder, or fresh in the chat. Go ahead, throw it in the chat. Yeah, fresh. You want to use the fresh garlic because it boosts your immune system. When they put it in a powdered form, which I'm not telling you not to get the powdered form, it's nice to use for spice rubs and stuff, but it's not going to boost your immune system that like you need to. It's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. Garlic is fantastic for you. And when I make my soup, I don't even mince the garlic. I just throw the whole head in there. It will cook beautifully. It'll give nice flavor to the soup. And you see what I'm doing? I'm pressing it down and then popping off the bottom piece, and then it peels super duper easy. I remember as kids, we would walk through the kitchen when mom was cooking, and we like tried not to walk through the kitchen, I meant. And but if we did, we got stuck cutting the garlic, and we were always upset that we had to cut garlic. But why? We just didn't know how to do it right. We didn't know how to do it right. Okay, garlic is in there. We've got lots of the vegetables in, not all of them yet. We're going to put more vegetables in here in just a moment, but it's kind of getting sticky, and it's time for some broth. Now, let's talk about broth. Let's talk a lot about broth. And who here uses bouillon? If you use bouillon, it's okay. Don't put anything in the chat. Don't tell me about it. I want to have a word about bouillon. Most bouillon in this world has MSG in it. MSG is an excitotoxin, and it passes the blood-brain barrier, and it goes to those brain cells that are most susceptible, and it excites them so much that they die. And who is most susceptible? Our children and our elderly, and us too. You know, I suffered from Lyme disease for a long time, chronic Lyme. And now anything that remotely has any kind of MSG in it, I feel it right away. And I don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. So make sure that when you look at your bouillon, you can read and understand every single word. But MSG is hidden under words like natural flavors, maltodextrin, spices. There's like 78 plus things that MSG could be hidden under. So buy your bouillon organic, or just make sure that there's no ambiguous words on the label. Here are a couple of bouillon or broth ideas for you. This one is Beyond Bone Broth. Bone broth is wonderful if you're 45 plus. It's good for collagen. It's good for your connective tissue. It's good for your gut. It's really good for your gut. So you mix this with water, and this is chicken. There's beef. If you're vegetarian, actually, I'll get to the vegetarian in a second. The other one that I really like is called Better Than Bullion. I'll open up the lid so you can see. Go ahead and take a look at that in a close up here, Caitlin. And you can see it's a little liquidy, and there's nothing bad in here for you. It's everything that's delicious. It's delicious, and it's called Better Than Bullion. By the way, if you have any other questions, go ahead and type those in the chat. And this is made with roasted chicken. I'll tell you, one of my friends and neighbors who I'm going to give this soup to is a vegetarian, and I want to make sure that she can eat this soup. So I am going to use some miso, chickpea miso, and we're going to, you're like, miso in a summer soup? Absolutely. This is fermented, and it's organic, and it's fermented soy, and that's the only way to eat soy. But these are chickpeas. It's all good. I'm thinking, because you think that miso is only made with soy, but it's not. Miso is made with a lot of different grains, and chickpeas are one of my favorite. Unfortunately, since the Lyme, I hadn't been able to eat chickpeas or hummus without a lot of distress. However, when I buy it miso, I can eat chickpea. Let me get some water. We're going to do about 3 cups of water. And what I did, because I'm using my Instant Pot, and I wanted to cook a little faster, I boiled my water ahead of time. And I'm going to put a big old 1.5 tablespoons of some of my chickpea miso. Okay. And oops, where's the lid? Put that in there. And here's my broth. Mix it all up. There we go. And we're going to put that right in the soup. The hot water will just help this cook faster. You don't have to do the hot water, okay? especially if you're cooking this on the stove top. At this point, I'm going to put the fresh herbs in. I'm going to get some cabbage, and we're going to slice up some cabbage. I already took off the outer layers of my cabbage. Crunch your fingers in, and I'm going to cut this in half. Round things you make flat, right?
And Tina, while you're doing that, does chickpea miso have any flavor? And can you tell us the brand that you use?
Yeah, it's South River Organic Chickpea Miso. And yes, it has a flavor. It's very salty. Just like miso soup would be very salty, this is very salty. And the flavor is salt and chickpea. The flavor is salt and chickpea. Remember, notice the knife skills. Thank you for the questions. I love questions. By all means, ask away. I'm going to slice these as thin as I can. I could have used my mandolin for this. I just remembered I could have used the mandolin, but whatever. It's okay. Did you notice that I had my fingers gripped the whole time? Grip your fingers. These I'm going to make smaller pieces for the soup. Now, if I'm super lazy one day, I can just throw in a soup big chunks of vegetables and the broth, and then at the end get an immersion blender and blend it all up and make what my aunt in Italy would call passata di verdura, which is just vegetable puree. Vegetable pureed vegetable soup. That's all that is. Okay, here we go. We got all of our cabbage. You can use Savoy cabbage, you can use red cabbage, you can use the green cabbage, whatever cabbage you like. It is a wonderful, wonderful addition. It's also full of hydration. And that's what we're going to put in next. And now, if you don't want to have a red pepper, why not put a jalapeno in there? Ooh, or even slice it and put it on fresh when you serve it. Some nice jalapenos. Okay. Now I'm going to put in my zucchini. Now notice I didn't put the zucchini earlier because it's more of it's a delicate type vegetable. It's not really hard like carrots are. And here's my trick to cutting zucchini in small pieces, my lazy way. I'm scoring it again, like I scored my onion. I'm going to score it. And here we go. Look how fun that is. Look how fun that is and how easy. I scored it. And I'll do the second one and I'll use the mandolin on the second one. I'll use the mandolin because why not? I have the mandolin out, might as well use it. Might as well use it. Okay, so here we go. We'll get that nub off. Who here composts? If you compost, put compost in the, put a 1 in the chat. If you compost, put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, if you compost, put a 1 in the chat. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you compost. I'd like to know who here composts. So here we go, my mandolin, my lazy way. I even put it right over the pot. You can do the same method up until here, right on the stovetop. The only difference with this is if you're on the stovetop, once we're at this point, you're going to cook it for about, you bring it to a boil and then simmer for 15 minutes and it's done. For the Instant Pot, we're just going to turn it on for 4 minutes and then it has to come up to pressure and then it'll be done. Now, next, finally, I'm going to put some spinach in there. I'm going to put some spinach in there because we need our greens. And I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to chop my spinach because it's baby spinach, okay? I don't have time to chop up my spinach. And I'm going to put the whole thing in there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to reserve some for the smoothie. I'm going to reserve just a little bit for the smoothie because we need our greens. How many cups of vegetables do you think that we need a day? Go ahead and type it in the chat. How many cups of vegetables do you think that we need a day? Go ahead, type it in the chat. How many cups of vegetables do you think we need a day? Anybody know? Anybody know how many cups of vegetables we need a day? 10 to 12. Good. Somebody answered 8. Good for you. Good for you. The answer is we need 10 to 12 cups of vegetables a day. So the more vegetables that you get in your life, the better. I eat meat. I have nothing against meat at all, but I absolutely make sure that I get my vegetables in, and I recommend that all of you get your vegetables in as well. Okay, now I'm going to turn my Instant Pot on to pressure cook and only for 4 minutes. That's all it needs. But who here cooks with an Instant Pot? If you cook with an Instant Pot, put IP in the chat. If you cook with an Instant Pot, put IP in the chat. If you cook with an Instant Pot, put IP in the chat. And if you don't, I highly recommend that you do, because it's so easy to use. So easy to use. Okay, let's transition to recipe number 2 while that is happening. Again, if you were on the stovetop, 15 minutes and you're good to go. Next, we're going to make some roasted peaches and avocado salsa. I turned my grill up. You see my pan has got these ridges in it, so I can grill on my stovetop here. Super easy. All I need for you to do is get your nice, beautiful, ripe, organic peaches, wash them up, slice them in half, and put them right down on your grill plate. And let it grill for, let me make sure this is on. It is, for about 4 minutes on each side. Caitlin, once I have all 4 of them in there, can you give me a 4-minute timer? Do you see what I did? I scored it and then I twisted. Now this one has got a little bit of stuff in it. No, that's not bad. It's good. Make sure you take the stone out and down, face down in your pan. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and we'll just do 3 peaches. Okay. I love peaches. Peaches in the summertime. Oh, I am salivating. This is my favorite. And this salsa, again, water. 4 minutes, please now, Caitlin. Thank you. Again, you're going to get water, the water profile from the peaches when you're eating your salsa. And you can use this salsa, once it's done, of course, as a salad dressing. You can use it with chips and salsa. I mean, this will be your salsa for chips. You can just eat it with a spoon. It is just delicious. So next in our salsa, we're going to put some avocado. Who here loves avocado? If you love avocado, put avocado in the chat. If you love yourself some avocados, put avocados in the chat. Avocados are really, really good for heart health. Very good for your heart. And some people are afraid of eating fat. Don't be afraid of eating good fat. And avocados are that good fat. Now, did you see how I scored it? I twisted it. I'll show you on the next one. But this is also what I do. So for my salsa, I don't have to put the avocado on my cutting board and do it. I am just scoring it right there in the skin. And I'm going to get a spoon and spoon it right out. So now I do not have to cut up my avocado on the cutting board. I just did it right in its own skin. Here we go. Do it again. If you guys are having fun, let me know if you're having fun. Type fun in the chat. If you are having fun, type fun in the chat. I want to make sure that you're all having a good time and that you're having fun. Good. Peach salsa dressing and on baked potato. Oh, what a great idea to use this salsa for baked potatoes. What a great idea. Thank you for that. So the second one, I'll show you more in depth how I score it. You just score it all the way around. And this one fell apart because it's nice and beautifully ripe. This needed to be eaten today. It wanted to be eaten today. I got the pit out and I'm just going to score it right there in the shell and scoop it out. Scoop it right out. There we go. Okay. Give those back to who? Mother Earth. Give it right back to Mother Earth. Next in our salsa. What is salsa without some lemon or lime? How do you get more juice out of a lime or a lemon? Yeah, roll it on the countertop. Roll it on the countertop. And, you know, there's lots of different juicers out there. I found this particular one called Prepara. And it gets the most juice out of my lemons and my limes than my other one. I even have a handheld one, but my hands are starting to hurt. And that handheld one, I have to give away. It's just too much for me. But this one, so easy. I love it. It gets so much juice out. It's so easy. Yeah, you still use a little bit of muscle. You should use muscle. There we go. So we've got that. Next, we're going to put some cilantro. Chopped up cilantro. I'm just going to grab some. By the way, do you see how I have it in a glass bowl with water on the bottom? It will stay fresher longer in a glass bowl with water on the bottom, either on your countertop or your refrigerator. In the refrigerator, it will last longer. In the fridge, it will last longer. So I'm just going to roughly chop it. It's okay if you get some stems in there, but if you want to get the stem off, you see how I did that? There you go. It's okay if you get some stem. The stem's still very flavorful. And
yeah, so sorry, your timer's going off, and Peg wants to know, is that juicer glass or plastic?
Glass. The top piece is plastic. The top piece is plastic. It is BPA free. I checked that on the package, but the bottom part is glass. I had a plastic one. I hated it. And you really shouldn't be using too much plastic stuff in your kitchen anyway. Okay, there we go. We've got all of our cilantro in there. And now all we need is a pinch of salt, some crushed, let me put a little bit of salt. There you go. We're going to put some crushed red pepper. So back to that peperoncino, I could crush this in a mortar and pestle. That one's specific for herbs. Or you can just get a pinch of cayenne pepper. That's it. And do it to taste. Or you can get that jalapeno, which, by the way, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little jalapeno in my peach salsa. You know, the seeds are the hottest, but the jalapeno is the least hot of all peppers anyway. So a little bit of jalapeno will do us all good. Especially in the summertime when you eat things that are heat, it forces your body to cool down. It forces your body to cool down. So that's why in very hot countries, they eat a lot of hot foods because it keeps them cool. It keeps them cool. So put a little bit of jalapeno in there. I put, oh boy, this one's gonna has the hot pepper as well as the jalapeno. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's see. Waiting for those grill marks. I'm not going to get major grill marks from the indoor one, but that's okay. They're nice and soft, and that's what we were going for. And I'm just going to slice these up. And now you see how I'm picking this up with the back of my knife? Be careful. Don't slice your fingers on that part of the knife. I'm just trying to be quick about this. And you know what? If you don't want to grill your peaches, this salsa will be amazing, even without grilling the peaches. Grilling the peaches on the outdoor grill will give it a much different flavor profile than doing it indoors. I just don't have an outdoor kitchen to do it on an outdoor grill for you today, but you'll get a different flavor profile when you're outdoors, especially if you have, if you're cooking over wood. Okay, here we go. They're hot, but they're not too hot. And I only cook the one side. It's okay. You don't have to do both sides. Woo, they're hot. Let that one cook a little bit, couple more seconds. Wow. Now, what would you, somebody said that they would put this peach salsa over potatoes. What other ideas do you have? What other ideas do you have to put this peach salsa over? What other ideas do you have to put this peach salsa over? Love to hear your ideas. I'd love to hear any ideas that you have of what you would do with this peach salsa. I said put it over a salad, eat it with chips and chips. It'll be your salsa for the chips. Just eat it with a spoon, right? What other ideas do you have? Ooh, tacos, right. I didn't think about tacos. Yeah, you use it for your salsa for the tacos. There you go. Okay. Avocados, peaches. Can you get any better than this? I don't know. Maybe if I cut the peaches a little smaller, but it'll fit on in your taco. And you know, taste this. If it needs more salt, add it, but don't put too much salt in the beginning because you could always add it, but you can't take it away. If it needs more jalapeno, put a little more jalapeno. If it needs more red pepper, put more red pepper. If it needs more lime juice, put more lime juice. But there we have it, our peach avocado salsa. Let me put that aside, and I am going to get ready for Granita. Can somebody say Granita in that chat box or type it in the chat box? Give me a couple seconds. Get the peaches off my hands, and we are going to make some Granita. Okay, you ready for some Granita? Anybody ready for some Granita? I'm going to move this out of my way. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have a little bit more room here to do what we need to do, right? Okay, for the Granita, I cheated. Yep, I'm a cheat, and I'm gonna get some things out of the freezer. I'll be right back, okay?
And Tina, somebody did ask, what is a Granita?
It's a drink. It's like an Italian icy. It's like an Italian, yeah, or a frosty, right? It's a drink. It's a wonderful, refreshing summer drink that we're going to make together. Okay. I cheated. You're supposed to pour the carrot juice in a glass pan and then freeze it, and every 30 minutes, bring it out and stir it around and put it back in. Remember, I'm lazy. I don't have time for that. So what I did is I found this orange carrot juice, organic juice from the market, and I poured it into ice cube trays, not this one. I'll tell you what that one is in a second. And now I have orange carrot ice cubes that I'm going to make this wonderful drink with. Now you're wondering what is in that other tray. I was doing an experiment this morning, and I got a whole bunch of carrots and I put them in my Vitamix with water and a piece of ginger, and you get all the pulp. So the drink will end up being pulpy with this. So I don't think that this is going to make the best Granita because it'll be pulpy. So I'm not going to use this, but I wanted to show you, you can do that. And then you can use these for your soups. You can use these for just ice cubes for your water. Put them right in your water and drink them. That would be a nice thing to do too. Or you can just buy the juice like I did. Okay, buy the juice. So let me put that aside. And the other thing that's really refreshing in the summertime is coconut water. I make sure that my coconut water, this one's from Taste Nirvana, the name of it. The ingredients, make sure it just says coconut water, coconut pulp, there's nothing there's nothing added, there's no sugar added. And that's what you want, because a lot of coconut waters that are out there have a lot of things that are added to them. You don't want that. You just want coconut water, period. Okay. So I'm going to put some, and I did the same thing with my coconut water. I made ice cubes out of them. And again, you can just put this right into your glass and water and drink that, or make a Granita out of it and have fun with your Granita. Okay. Now, what's next? We're going to put some lime in there. Yep, we're going to put the juice of a couple of limes. I have ginger. I always buy ginger and I freeze it. I love ginger. Ginger is anti-inflammatory. If you have any pain in your body, this morning I woke up with a lot of pain in my hand, eat ginger. It will help you tremendously to tame that inflammation. Okay, here we go. We're going to slice, or I'm going to juice a couple of more limes. Sometimes I'm super lazy and I just peel the lime and put the entire flesh and pulp right in there, but I don't mind the pulp in there. Some people might not like it, just kind of like with the carrots. You end up with all the pulp, but we're trying to get like an Italian ice. That's what we're trying to get, a nice adult drink, right? A nice adult drink. We're going to do 2 limes for this one. It helps if I turn my knife the right way. Okay. There we go. Limes are just as good as lemons to help with detoxifying your body. They're really good, as my dad would say, they disinfect your body. There we go. We got some lime in there now. And what else do we want? We're going to put mint in there, carrot juice, coconut water, lime, ginger, and a little pinch of salt. We're going to put a little pinch of salt in there. Now, of course, I'm looking for the lid. Where is it? Here we go. Of course, I'm using my Vitamix. You could use whatever blender you want, or you can just mix all of it without it being frozen and do it the old way that's on the instructions. I'll be right back. I need water. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I need to put water in this one. You can't just put ice cubes and a Vitamix. You need a little bit of water in there, otherwise it won't blend. I know this. Oh, that means our soup is ready. Almost. Granita is ready. And now all we need to do is get the glass ready. So I'm going to wet the tip and I'm going to dip it in a little salt because we want an adult drink here, right? Pretend we're having a margarita, right? But we're not. We're having a Granita instead. Yes, this is going to be very icy. It will melt fast, especially on a hot day when you're serving it to your family and to your friends. Look at that. So we've got the nutrition from the carrots. The juice was orange and carrot juice. We got the anti-inflammatory from the ginger. We have the disinfecting from the lime, which is just really good for your gut. Which, by the way, Caitlin is going to put this in the chat. I have a free gift for everybody, and that's my Joyful Gut Reboot Guide. So by all means, download that and be part of my tribe if you'd like. And the Joyful Gut Reboot Guide just gives you basics of nutrition, some basics of how to have a very healthy gut. This is some fresh mint from my garden. So you can serve this with pieces of cucumber. You can put a straw in there and serve that right up. Some Granita. I would actually probably let it sit for a few minutes, let that ice cool down. Wow, isn't that delicious? Who is going to make themselves some Granita now? Who's going to make themselves some Granita? If you're going to make yourself some Granita, put a 1 in the chat. Coconut water is, if I didn't already say that, it is full of electrolytes. Coconut water is full of electrolytes. On hot days, put a little coconut water in your life, but don't substitute coconut water for real water, okay? Don't substitute coconut water for real water. My husband did that one day, and like, you can't do that. You got to drink real water. So next we're going to make a Honolulu Heaven smoothie. Honolulu Heaven smoothie. Now, a lot of people make their smoothies with almond milk, coconut milk, any of those things. But guess what? I just make mine with water. You don't need, you can do the almond milk, but I'll use my almond milk for my decaffeinated coffee in the morning. So I'm not going to use that now. I'm going to use a really good protein powder. This one has collagen in it. Remember I talked about the bone broth? This is, don't get grossed out. This is bone broth protein powder, connective tissue. It's good for your gut, good for your skin, especially if you're 45 plus. You need to be using a little bit of collagen. You need extra collagen. If you're vegan, by all means, find yourself a really good vegan protein powder. The one that I love is from Garden of Life. Vega is my other favorite, Vega. Okay, we're going to put in 1 banana. Now, when my bananas start to get ripe, I freeze them. I just peel them and freeze them. And this way you don't waste the bananas. Otherwise, really good for your compost. Very good for your compost. Next, I'm going to do a full orange, but I'm going to peel it, of course. I'm trying to go a little quick because I want to get the salad dressing recipe in there. Good, good. I love the interaction today. This has been so much. I'm still having fun. If you're still having fun, put fun in the chat. If you're still having fun, put fun in the chat. Good. So you see how I just peeled the whole orange? You don't need to get fancy on this. Cut it in half. It will go right into the smoothie. Smoothies are great for breakfast. Smoothies are great for lunch, for snacks. Sometimes it'll be after dinner and my husband like, I'm still hungry. And I'm like, well, I can make you a smoothie. I can make you, I put extra chocolate in there. Smoothies, you don't have to put vegetables in there. I always do. Spinach is on the sweeter side. So I tend to like to use spinach or baby kale for my smoothies. The other thing for the smoothie is mango. You can easily, mangoes are around now. This one's not exactly ripe. I always have frozen mango in my freezer for smoothies. Have a smoothie, get some mango. You're gonna put about a half a cup of mango in there. There we go. And let's see if I'm missing anything. Nope. Oh, yes, I am. Every smoothie needs a good fat. You can use almonds, you can use cashews, you can use flax seeds, chia seeds. But for this particular Honolulu Heaven, I'm going to put some coconut manna. Coconut butter, right? It's not just coconut oil, but it's the coconut oil and the meat all put together. Let's do a close up on this and you can see how creamy it is. You can see how creamy it is. I was able to just pull it out with my spoon and there you go. There you have it. I'm going to put 1 to 2 tablespoons in there because you always need a really good fat with your meals. Coconut oil is antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial. So it's really good to get coconut in your body on a daily basis. Very, very good for you. Okay, where's my lid? Here we go. And I'll be right back. Okay, here's my Honolulu Heaven. Again, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It's got everything that you need in it. If you don't want it to be green, then don't put the spinach in there, but you're gonna have to get your vegetables some other way. Because remember, how many cups of vegetables do we need a day? 10 to 12 cups of vegetables a day. We have enough time, so there we have it, Honolulu Heaven. Oh, I cannot wait to have that. I cannot wait to eat that. Okay. I have my niece coming over afterwards, so she's going to take all of this food home. Let's take a look at our soup. Let's take a look at our soup. Let's see what our soup looks like. And let me move some things around so we can get to our soup. I know there are so many things that we made today. I don't normally make all of these things in one day, but hey, why not? The world is our oyster. We can do whatever we want. Now, did you see that? What just happened? With an Instant Pot, you need to vent it. So I'm going to put a towel over it and I'm going to allow it to vent. We're going to make our salad dressing and then we'll see what the soup looks like. Okay, we'll see what the soup looks like. All right, salad dressing is super duper simple. Most salad dressings out there are full of rancid oils and MSG. And we want the best health of our lives. If you want the best health of your life, put a 10 in the chat that you want to have a 10 of a life, you know? You want your life to be at a 10. I know this is loud. I hope you can still hear me. I hope that's not too loud for you as that's venting the pressure. Is that too loud, Caitlin?
No, it's great.
Okay, good. Good, somebody put an 11 in the chat. You want your best life ever. So get yourself some good organic olive oil. And you're going to do, I like 2-to-1 ratio olive oil to the vinegar or the acid. Some people like 1-to-1. Is all up to you. So I'm going to get a jar and I'm going to put about one part. I'm going to put, 2 parts olive oil to 1 part acid, because that's the ratio I like it. I'm Italian. That's the way us Italians do it. And my husband likes it the other way around. He likes a lot more balsamic vinegar than he likes the olive oil, but that's up to him. Your acid could be red wine vinegar. Your acid can be balsamic vinegar. It can be lemon. It could be lime. What is your favorite acid to put in your Italian dressing? There we go. So I did about half. Remember, I'm lazy. I do everything like they say in Italy, al occhio, by eye. You don't have to do it by eye, but I do it by eye. That's just the way I roll. I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of some sea salt, about a half a teaspoon. You can always add it. You cannot take it away. I'm going to put some freshly ground black pepper. Freshly ground black pepper is the difference between an okay salad dressing and wow, that's a really good salad dressing. And you want a wow, that's a really good salad dressing in your life. We can put some fresh herbs in here now if we want fresh herbs, or you can put some Italian seasoning that you have dried. All up to you, whatever you want to do. Put a teaspoon, put 2 teaspoons. Remember, the world is your oyster. Put in here what you want. Next, you want to maybe get a piece of garlic, and you can chop up the garlic really fine and put that in there. But if you like garlic, but you don't like to bite into garlic, don't worry about it. Get yourself a piece of garlic and get a bigger clove here. And in your dressing, just pop that clove of garlic right in there, but don't chop it up. I don't like to bite into garlic, not even tiny little pieces. I don't like to bite into fresh garlic. But if they are big pieces, put it right in there, okay? Drop it in. The dressing will get the essence of the garlic, but not those pieces that you bite into. There you have it. Your simple, dimple Italian dressing stored in the refrigerator for weeks, a long time, and then put 1 to 2 tablespoons on your salad when you are ready to serve it. I make salads in a jar, so I'll put the dressing at the bottom and then marinate the vegetables on top and then put the lettuce on the very, very top. And they stay in my fridge for a long time. So that is my Italian dressing. All right, let's take a look at the soup. Now, Caitlin, she's going to put in the chat one more time the link to get my Joyful Gut free reboot guide. And you can become a part of my tribe if you'd like. And if not, it's all good. It's all good. And what I'd like to know as I'm stirring the soup and I'm going to spoon it out and show it to you, I'd like to know, what have you found most valuable about our time together today? What is that 1 or 2 things that you're just going to take home with you and go, yes, I love that she mentioned that, or that she taught us that. That's fantastic. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that. So what have you found most valuable about our time together today? Oh my goodness, this soup looks so good. I am going to be stuffed for lunch today, eating soup and salsa and some granita and this mango smoothie. I might have to have that for dinner. I'm probably just going to give it to my niece. But there we have it. We have our summer soup. You see, I have a piece of carrot that's huge. It's okay. It's soft now. See, 4 minutes and it's done. I would serve this with a dollop of olive oil and a little bit of finishing sea salt, some sea salt flakes. So yeah, well, you're visiting me, you're coming over. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for being here for today, for participating. You have been such a great audience. I love it. I love it. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, you know, I'd love to know what you found most valuable so that I know that I delivered what I was supposed to deliver. It was a great demo. Thank you. So you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I so appreciate you. And look on the calendar, because I'll be coming back in the fall months, and just look out for me. Otherwise, download that free Joyful Gut Root Book Guide, and you'll be on my newsletter, and you'll see some other things that I have with my YouTube channel and be a part of my world. So you too can eat some delicious summer soup, have some of this wonderful, oh my goodness, peach salsa. Oh my gosh, peach salsa. Can't stand it. Honolulu heaven smoothies. And where's my Granita? What happened to my Granita? Oh, this is so ready to drink. Refreshing summer drink. Very happy. Thank you very much again for being here with me today. And from the top to the bottom to the middle of my heart, thank you and namaste. Until next time. Bye for now, everyone. Bye for now.